10 Things Successful People Never Do. Jim Rohn Motivation. Success is not built overnight. It's not luck, chance, or something that only happens to the fortunate few. As Jim Rohn once said, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. In the same way, failure is nothing more than a few errors in judgment repeated daily. If we want to live a life of achievement, abundance, and fulfillment, we must learn not only what to do, but also what never to do. Success often comes not from adding more things, but from eliminating the wrong things. So let us explore the 10 things successful people never do, and let each principle remind you that greatness is not in grand gestures, but in the discipline of the little things. 1. They never waste time on excuses. Excuses are the language of failure. Unsuccessful people blame the economy, their boss, their parents, or the weather. But successful people know that excuses only rob you of progress. Jim Rohn taught that you cannot hire someone to do your push-ups for you. You must take responsibility for your own life. Successful people never say, "I can't because." Instead, they ask, "How can I?" They know that every minute spent making excuses is a minute that could have been spent creating solutions. Excuses may comfort you in the moment, but they chain you to mediocrity for a lifetime. 2. They never stay in their comfort zone. The comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Successful people understand that growth requires discomfort, risk, and sometimes failure. They never allow themselves to settle in what is safe and familiar. Jim Rohn said, "Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better." The successful embrace challenge because they know that diamonds are formed under pressure. They step into uncertainty, they take on new skills, and they push their limits daily. To stay in your comfort zone is to stay small. To leave it is to open the door to greatness. 3. They never surround themselves with negative people. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Successful people guard their associations carefully. They know that negativity is contagious, just like enthusiasm is contagious. Jim Rohn emphasized that you must guard your mind like a fortress. Successful people never tolerate energy drainers, complainers, or toxic influences in their inner circle. Instead, they seek out mentors, leaders, and peers who lift them higher. They understand that their environment shapes their destiny, so they choose wisely. 4. They never compare themselves unfairly. Comparison is the thief of joy. Unsuccessful people waste energy envying others, while successful people focus on becoming their best selves. They understand that everyone's journey is different. Jim Rohn reminded us, "Don't wish to be a millionaire. Wish to be a millionaire worth becoming." In other words, success is not about having more than someone else, but about growing into the best version of you. Successful people admire others, learn from them, but never let comparison poison their progress. They measure themselves against their own potential, not against their neighbor's possessions. 5. They never stop learning. Ignorance is expensive, and successful people never pay that price. They understand that formal education can make you a living, but self-education can make you a fortune. Jim Rohn spent his life teaching that you must always be a student of books, of experiences, of mentors, of life itself. Successful people never believe they have arrived. They stay curious, they ask questions, they study relentlessly. Every failure is a lesson. Every success is a case study. They know that the moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. 6. They never fear failure more than they fear regret. Most people never try because they fear failing, but successful people never let fear paralyze them. They understand that failure is simply feedback, a stepping stone toward success. Jim Rohn said, "If you want to succeed, double your rate of failure." Why? Because each attempt, whether it works or not, teaches you something valuable. What they fear more than failure is regret, the pain of never trying, of looking back and realizing they let life slip away. Successful people never cling to safety when opportunity is calling. They risk, they fall, they rise, and they continue. 8. They never neglect their health. Without health, success is meaningless. What is wealth if you do not have the energy to enjoy it? Successful people never trade their health for short-term gains. They understand that discipline in health is discipline in life. Jim Rohn said, "Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live." They eat with awareness, exercise consistently, sleep adequately, and manage stress. They know that energy fuels productivity and vitality fuels creativity. A sick body leads to a tired mind, and tired minds rarely create greatness. 9. They never chase shortcuts to success. Success has no elevator. You must take the stairs. Successful people never believe in get-rich-quick schemes, luck, or instant gratification. They understand the law of sowing and reaping. You reap what you sow, you reap later than you sow, and you reap more than you sow. Jim Rohn taught that discipline weighs ounces, while regret weighs tons. They commit to the process, knowing that hard work, consistency, and persistence are the only real shortcuts. The impatient seek hacks. The successful plant seeds. 10. They never lose sight of their values. In pursuit of success, many lose themselves. But true success is not just achievement, it is alignment with your values. Successful people never trade integrity for income nor character for convenience. Jim Rohn said, "Success is not to be pursued, it is to be attracted by the person you become." They understand that reputation takes years to build and seconds to destroy. They stand firm in honesty, discipline, and service. For them, success is not just what they achieve, but who they become in the process. Closing thoughts. Success is not about talent, luck, or privilege. It is about discipline, choices, and consistency. It is as much about what you don't do as it is about what you do. Jim Rohn believed that success is predictable. If you follow certain principles, you cannot help but achieve it. And if you ignore those principles, you cannot escape failure. So remember, never waste time on excuses. Never settle for the comfort zone. Never surround yourself with negativity. Never live in comparison. Never stop learning. Never fear failure more than regret. Never neglect your health. Never chase shortcuts. Never lose your values. And above all, never quit on yourself. If you adopt these truths, your life will move in the direction of growth, abundance, and fulfillment. Success is not something you pursue. It is something you attract by the person you become. As Jim Rohn would say, for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. The path to success begins the moment you decide to live by these principles, not just today, but every day.